In the previous video we started the Fusion tutorial for beginners and created a 2D sketch. You learned how to create basic shapes, how to dimension geometries, and several ways to specify relationships between geometries. Even though it is simple geometry, it covered quite a lot of issues. The link to that video is in the description of this video, and in this video I will show you how to create a 3D solid based on 2D sketch, and you will learn the basic operations of creating 3D solids in 3D CAD systems. And as I mentioned in the previous video, the main way to create 3D solids in 3D CAD systems is to create solids based on 2D sketches. And now to create a 3D model based on this sketch, select Extrude operation. Select the profile on the basis of which you want to create a 3D solid and specify the height of the solid. You can do this with this arrow, or you can enter a specific value here. Enter 15 mm here and click OK to confirm. And this way we created the first 3D solid in Fusion 360, and this is a good time to briefly discuss navigation in Fusion 360. First, click on this icon, select Preferences, and select SolidWorks as Pan, Zoom, Orbit shortcuts. And by rotating the mouse wheel, you can zoom in or zoom out, and when you press the mouse wheel, you can rotate the 3D solid, and when you press the Ctrl key and the mouse wheel, you can move the view in the work area. And okay, this is the most important and the most basic information about navigation in Fusion 360. And when creating 3D models in 3D CAD systems, we usually do it in stages, and this was the first stage of creating a 3D model, and we can now create another fragment of this solid in the next stage. In the previous lesson we created a sketch on one of the basic planes of the coordinate system, but we can also create sketches on the faces of a solid. Now we will create a sketch on this face, and to create a sketch on this face, select this face and select Create Sketch. Here we have icons that allow us to create basic shapes, but after expanding the Create menu, we have more options available. Select Rectangle and Center Rectangle. And drawing a rectangle with this command works by pointing the center point of the rectangle and one vertex. For now, let's draw a rectangle outside the solid geometry. OK, press Escape to cancel this command, and now I would like the center of the rectangle to lie between these two holes, and to do this let's create an auxiliary line. Select the line drawing command and draw a line so that the beginning of the line coincides with the center of this circle and the end of the line coincides with the center of this circle. And when you move the cursor near the center of the circle, such a symbol will appear, and when you click the left mouse button, the beginning of the line will be linked to the center of the circle. Do the same with the second point of the line, move the cursor near the center of this circle, and when this symbol appears, click the left mouse button. Press Escape to finish drawing the line, and select this line and click this icon to change the line to a construction line. And now let's place the center of this rectangle in the middle of this line. And we can do this in two ways. Grab the center point of the rectangle and drag the rectangle onto the line. And when you hover near the center of the line, a constraint symbol will appear, a small triangle, and if you drop the line there, the center point of the rectangle will coincide with the center of the line. OK, let's undo this operation. Press Ctrl+Z and I will show you the second way. Left click outside the geometries to ensure that no geometry is selected. then select midpoint constraint, select the center point of the rectangle, and select the line. This constraint placed the center point of the rectangle at the center of this line. Both methods gave the same effect. OK, escape to cancel this command. And now if you grab the geometry of a rectangle, you can change the dimensions of the rectangle, but you cannot move the rectangle. OK, let's add the dimensions of the rectangle. Left click to the select geometries and select sketch dimension and select this line and enter 20 millimeters and select this line and enter 60 millimeters. OK. Escape to cancel sketch dimension command, and the sketch is completed and fully defined. Click finish sketch to exit the sketch. And now I will show you how to remove material from the solid based on this sketch. Based on this sketch we will make a pocket, and in Fusion 360 a pocket operation is also an extrude operation, only with the appropriate operation type setting. Select the extrude command, select the rectangle sketch as the profile, and now if you drag this arrow up, an extrude of the sketch will be added and another fragment of the 3D solid will be created. And here pay attention to the type of operation. This is a join operation, that is joining another fragment of a solid to the previous fragment of a solid. But if you drag this arrow down, a pocket will be created and the operation type will change to cut. This means cutting out material from a 3D solids. You can determine the pocket depth by dragging the arrow to the appropriate depth, or you can enter a specific value here. Enter -10 and click OK. And thus you learned another basic operation of creating 3D solids in 3D CAD systems, and this is where we will end this part of the guide. And in the next part of the guide you will learn another operation of creating 3D solids based on a 2D sketch and other tool for creating 2D sketches. You will learn the operation of creating 3D solid by rotating a 2D sketch, and with this operation we will create the next stage of this 3D solid, and you will also learn how to create a reference plane on which we will create a sketch. Reference planes are very helpful in designing complex projects. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to this channel, this will contribute to the growth of this channel.